Today I have a special treat for you because I have went out and bought a new microphone. And I think this microphone is going to be a very interesting microphone for a lot of people. As right now it is priced at a really good bargain. A great frugal microphone for people that are looking to live stream and have a stream mix. Let's go ahead and get into the video. We'll talk about the Revelator condenser microphone from Presonus. Okay, so this is the Revelator condenser USB microphone. This comes with USB 3 connection and a monitor output for headphones. It also has a mute. The mute's right here. Press the button here. It also has a preset selection, which is interesting. We'll get that in a little bit. And you also have a monitor function here where you can turn monitoring on and off for your microphone, and you just have PC audio, which is really nice. A couple things you need to know about this microphone. The sample rate goes up to 96 kilohertz. It's 24-bit depth. It comes with 3 different polar patterns. The standard cardioid, I'm actually using the figure 8, which is the second option, and then an omnidirectional polar pattern. So this is a really neat little microphone. It gives you different options if you're doing, like, say, a podcast with a couple people or multiple people and you want to be able to record them all. You could do that with this. Also, if you're recording music, this is another great option as you get those multiple different polar patterns, especially an omnidirectional pattern if you have multiple instruments you want to record at once, which is really cool. So that's really a nice microphone. The construction of it's good. It's an all metal body. Again, I said it's a condenser microphone. So remember that condenser microphones are a lot more susceptible to background noise because they're a lot more sensitive than a dynamic microphone. But with that, you get a little bit more clarity on the high end, a little bit more presence. Just sounds a little crisper than a dynamic, but you have to deal with the noise. Now, if you set the gain properly, it's not such a big deal. But if you're in a really noisy room, you might want to consider maybe looking at other options other than a condenser microphone in general. Look for a dynamic microphone, such as, say, the Beacon mic or, one of the Shure mics that are out there, that sort of thing. But this is a great microphone. For $99 especially, I think it's really good. I think it sounds nice. Right now, what you're listening to, let me switch the pattern back to cardioid. You can kind of hear the difference between what cardioid sounds like compared to figure 8. All right, so now I'm in cardioid mode, and you can now hear what the microphone sounds like normally, and all of the effects are turned off. That fat channel is disabled. What you're hearing right now is raw mic with no processing whatsoever, other than I'll boost it a little bit in post so that the levels will be good enough for you to hear. So you can kind of come up with your own conclusion on what this microphone sounds like to you. Now, I feel like I have, somewhat of a warmer sound to my vocal, so I don't need as much bass in the low end. So this, you can kind of get an idea. I feel like maybe this microphone, after using it for about 3 to 4 weeks now, I feel like it might be a little mid-heavy. Something that you can definitely fix in EQ. That's just something to be aware of. Mid-heavy microphones might do better for instruments and for female vocals as opposed to a male vocal. But again, EQ can fix that. So you can get an idea what it sounds like in with a raw mic. Now, this microphone comes standard with a desktop mount. Now, this desktop mount has a lot of weight to it. The base is very heavy, and it uses this little screw here to go into the side of the microphone here. Now, on the bottom of this is a place for a rubber grommet right here. If you're going to mount this on a stand, a boom arm or a mic stand, whatever that you're going to use, you take this rubber grommet and you actually put it right here. So you can put that there where the shaft of the desktop stand goes in, and it just makes it cleaner looking. So I've currently got this mounted to the Elgato Wave Arm LP, the low profile arm, and there's something specific with the Wave arms that you need to know about. Because they use this ball type joint on their mic arms, you will find some difficulty getting this to hook up properly. I had to actually take off one of the metal tension screw that's on this so that this would fit on the mic stand properly. Otherwise, I couldn't even get cables to connect to it. There's just no room. The USB connection on the microphone itself is too close to this thread. So keep that in mind if you're going to be using this, specifically the Elgato Wave. Now, if you're using a standard boom arm that has the post that comes down, like I have my standard one over there, that has a post that's about 3 to 4 inches long, you'll have no issues there. It'll fit just fine. It comes with all the adapters you need to get it to fit. But for Elgato Wave mic arms specifically, keep that in mind, that you may find some difficulty and you might have to take off the metal tensioner adjuster that you would normally use to make sure that this thing is nice and tight. The great thing about this microphone, as I said before, is the software that is packaged with this product. The Revelator software is really nice, and what I'd like to do now is show you that so we can go into it, and I'll show you all the features and how you can set this thing up. All right, so let's talk about the software that comes with a Revelator. So everybody's going to use this universal control. You'll have the icon right here, and this is how you'll access the Revelator software. But right now, the universal control is where you're going to set the sample rate for your microphone. Again, it goes up to 96 kilohertz, different things like that, block size or buffer size. Default is 512, which most people should leave that as is. If you want to decrease the buffer size, which will decrease latency, of course, you'll do this at the cost of extra resources by your CPU. Just keep that in mind. All right. So then to get access to the Revelator software, you'll click down here. Okay, so this is the Revelator software, the main UI that you'll be working with. So at the top here, you have some different presets. You have a hotkey that you can set to any of the presets in here, including empty ones that you can save for a profile yourself. I had this set to broadcast female, and then you can select any of these others here, and you can preset these to any of the presets. Now, what these four correlate to are the preset button that is on. It is the preset button that is on the microphone itself. So if I were to press the preset button, you should see this change to each of the different ones, and it should be changing my voice. Now, the great thing about the microphone on the preset button itself is it will change color to correlate with each of these different buttons, so you'll have an idea of what it is currently set to. So that's nice. And again, you have these other slots here, another 8 slots of empty sets that you can make your own voices and do that within the presets here. Okay, to the right here, you have the fat channel. This is a high pass filter that has preset frequencies that you can use, 40, 80, and 160. You have a gate here. This is a noise gate. You have a couple different settings here, up to high. You have a compressor, and you have 4 different settings here that you can use for compression. And these are all simple settings. Now we'll go into advanced settings here in a second. But you got EQ again. You've got different EQ curves that you can use. You got a limiter here that you can use. And then of course you have a fifth for a voice that you can set different sounds to for your voice. All right. So that's the fat channel simple settings. Here you have phone volume, your headphone monitor volume. You have a blend left to right. So if you want to just listen to computer audio, you can set it one way. If you want a blend of your audio from your computer or the monitor from your microphone, you can blend that. Or if you just want to hear microphone monitor, you can go all the way left. All right. Now, down here at the bottom where we're talking about the mixer here, of course, you have your microphone channel here. You have gain here that you can set. You have panning here left or right that you can do. You have reverb as a preset reverb that you can actually add into your microphone, which is nice. Then you have your gain setting here where you can slide the volume for your mixer for your microphone that's going into your different mixes. Of course, you have a peak here. You have a little bar here that you see that is blue. Now that is your compressor. That's showing you how much compressor and noise gate that you're seeing at the time, if you have noise gate added. Now you have 3 different channels here that you can use for different things. So playback would be for like Windows playback. Music you could set to, say Spotify or Amazon Music or iTunes, whatever you're using. And then comms would be for something like Discord. Now, these are virtual audio devices that are in Windows that this software creates that you would set the outputs of your various apps to, they would then come into the mixer and then become part of a stream mix. And you have up to 3 different mixes here that you can use. You got main, which would be what you would use for your own monitoring. You have stream mix A and stream mix B. So you can use, say, stream mix A for, say if you wanted to set that specifically for live stream, you can. And say if you wanted stream mix B for specifically for recording or just for comms only, then you could set a separate mix for that. But it's easy to, set up. Now the yellow indicates that that's currently what you're listening to. So you could turn this off. You could listen to another mix and go back and forth with that. But when you select the tabs, that is where you get access to the slider faders so that you can adjust the levels of your various mix. And then of course here you have the main output, which is how you would control the actual volume level of each of those buses, the main bus, the stream mix A, stream mix B. All right, and then you have a phase control here where you can change the phase to. You have a mute, which is pretty nice. Again, this is a reverb here. You can again add reverb to your mixes. You can do this is like a hall reverb. So you got a small hall, medium, and large, and you can fade in the reverb as necessary. Again, you have pre-delay, you got the size, and you got high pass filter. You can see those change as you change the presets. So pretty neat. This is a pretty cool little thing. I like it a lot. Now let's look at the Fat Channel advanced settings. So this is the advanced settings that you can go in. Instead of using simple mode, you can go in and change everything yourself. Again, high pass filter here. I have this set to 40 Hertz. This is the noise gate right here. You can again change this as a straight noise gate or use this as an expander, which is actually what I recommend. Kind of think of it like an upside down compressor. Instead of cutting off or limiting the levels at the top end of your peaks, what it's doing is it's opening up as you hit that threshold on your lower end of your audio to open it up and allow your audio to go through. Instead of it being an open and shut like a regular gate would, this is a more gradual thing. So you don't necessarily get your voice cut off a lot with an expander as you would with gate if you didn't have it set right. All right, your EQ here, you got a couple different options. You could turn this on here, and you've got the standard, which is what I'm using here, is a standard parametric EQ, and then you've got a couple plugins that you can use that are more vintage style rack mount type EQs. So this is the standard EQ that I actually prefer using because you got the, you can boost, you can cut as necessary, you can change all those different frequencies here. Of course, like you can, adjust the Q down and, have the adjustments that you need. I just prefer a parametric EQ over anything, to be honest with you. So that works great. And then here you got the limiter to the right here that you can set manually to whatever. I set mine to -3. And then finally to the right, if you wanted to do voices, you have a couple different options and different little plugins that they've added in here that you can change your voice around, which can be fun if you have it set. And then of course you could have those set to one of those presets that I was talking about earlier. So that's really the software in a nutshell. It's really nice, fully featured. I like the fact that it has the Fat Channel built in to everything here. Of course, you can see here, this is the comp that I'm using. I'm using this FET comp, which is actually really nice for vocal. So anyway, if you got any questions about this software, just, drop a comment below and I'll try to answer the best of my ability to be able to do that for you.